Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be looking at this. What is it? Well, once again, if you looked at the title of the video, you will know that this is a battery case for the Nintendo Switch, and it's got this nice little flap on the front. Just, you know, well, I'll talk about why that is later. Really quick disclaimer before we get into things though, this was sent to me for free by the company ZTEK, who produces these, or ZTEK, I don't know how it's pronounced, so just bear that in mind. This has been sent to me for free, however this will still be an honest and frank look at the thing. Let's get into it. So anyway, the basic idea of this thing is that you slide your Switch into this little grippy bit here, which I'm just about to do, and it gives you more power. You've got a little plug down here that you plug into your Switch and do that. And what's interesting is that it also has a standard USB on the side, so if you like, you can charge your phone at the same time, which is genuinely quite handy. Does mean you're going to reduce the amount of time you can play the Switch, but if it's an emergency, I suppose. But let's get this sucker in. So in order to get your Switch in, you have to sort of, it's sort of held in by friction, so you have to put your Switch in, then you have to sort of, I really don't like doing that. I've done this a couple of times now, and you have to sort of squeeze your Switch in, which I really don't like. It is very solid when it's in, so that's one thing, and if you plan on using this, you know, if you only ever use it portably, then, you know, you don't ever put it in a dock, you could keep this on 24/7, but I really don't like the way that you have to squeeze your Switch in. It really does feel like you're going to scratch something. So that's not very good. Then you need to take this little cable here, this teeny tiny little wobbly thing here. Can you see that? Let's get a proper look at that wobbly sucker there. You need to plug that into the bottom of your Switch. Now you might be thinking, why is it not just a plug on the bottom? Why does it, you know... Yes, it's charging the Switch. Well done. Well, I think the reason they've gone for a cable is because it puts less strain on the connector here, and therefore less strain on the Switch port itself, the charging port and things like that, which is no bad thing. It's a little bit fiddly, but once it's in, you don't need to worry about it. Marvellous. And then this bit folds up like that. You got a little thing there, and that keeps your Switch screen nice and protected as well, which is a nice little feature. I don't know whether it's a feature that a lot of people are going to be wanting per se, but if you do, it's there. Then when you want to play a game, you just unfold that. There's a little magnet on the back of here as well, because this is obviously magnetized on the front. So you flip that over, magnetizes on the back. I didn't find that for quite some time, and I thought I'd have to play with this dangling in front like that. So I'm very pleased that that's back there. And then you just sort of play a game of your Switch. The only major problem is this thing basically doubles the weight of the Switch, and whilst that's sort of to be expected because it's a battery, it's a pretty large battery. How big is it? Hopefully it says on here. How big is it? It's 10,000 milliamp hour. Research. But you're doubling the weight of your Switch, and then when you want to play a game, you've got this flappy thing here. I mean, I suppose you could probably fold it up like this and just... No, that doesn't work. It doesn't... You've got this flappy bit here. That's unavoidable if you're trying to play this in handheld mode. And to be honest, you're putting twice as much weight on the Joy-Cons. If you're going to grip it by just the Joy-Cons like that, you're putting twice as much weight on the Switch as it's intended for. These aren't designed to take twice the weight, and to be honest, that just worries me a little bit. It just worries me, because I care about my Switch. So realistically, you're only really ever going to be playing this in tabletop mode, and I imagine that's why they've got this foldy thing here, so you can lay it flat like that, and that is genuinely useful. Fold it out, and you just have it at two possible angles. Is it 2 or 3? It's 2. You can have 2 possible angles, or you can have it flat like that. Don't have it flat like that. And then you just fold that bit around like that, and jobs are good, and your Switch is charging. You got loads of battery in there, 10,000 milliamp hours, which should be around about double what your Switch can usually do. So that should be triple overall, although that is only an estimate. Haven't been able to test it all the way through properly, because my time is expensive. So you're going to be getting a lot of juice out of your Switch, but you can pretty much only play it in tabletop mode. If you want to play it in portable mode, it doesn't really work, because you're putting too much strain on your Joy-Con, and you've got this flappy thing here, and it's just ow. But I mean, if you're taking it to a party and you do intend to use it purely in tabletop mode, then this could be quite useful. But I think in the sort of in the process of trying to make it as, you know, sort of fully featured as possible by having this flap on the front and stuff like that, they've actually reduced the number of features quite considerably. And interestingly, if you look on the back here, I don't know whether you can see that, there is a line there. Can you see those lines? As my voice reverberates off the back of this thing. Hello there, lovely people. These lines, now, against my better judgment, I tried to prise this up, and that is a kickstand. But obviously it doesn't come out properly because this thing's over the top. I have a feeling what we are looking at here is the original design that they then scrapped because maybe it's too heavy for a standard kickstand like this, or maybe they just decided that the folio was a better idea. But interesting little leftover there. It was originally going to have a kickstand, but it doesn't. All in all, this battery case is good. It does charge the Switch for a long time, and it is genuinely pretty high capacity. For the capacity, it's not that heavy, but the additional features that they seem to have put in, if anything, just mar it and make the Switch less of the Switch than it was before. And obviously, when it's in this case, you can't dock it, which is perfectly understandable. This isn't obviously designed to be used when docked. It also came with a free carrying case, probably because most carrying cases aren't big enough to take the Switch and this thing, which is genuinely really handy. If the case extended over this way a little bit and just, you know, just rounded off, or even just came over the Joy-Con so the Joy-Cons have something to rest against, it would be heavy, but you could use it in handheld mode. But as it stands right now, I just don't trust the Joy-Cons to be able to support this amount of weight. It's double what they're designed to do, and I just don't trust it. And, you know, the Joy-Cons can get a little bit wobbly as it is by themselves, so I'm just not convinced you can use this in handheld mode. This is simply tabletop only. So if you're going on a long train journey or something where you've got a flat surface, but you're not going to have access to a big screen, this is a very useful device. But apart from that, it's really limiting. It's really limiting in how you can play the Switch. So, you know, if that suits you, I mean, I can't tell you whether you can use this or not. If you've seen this and you think that's brilliant, I'll have one of them. You can find a link to buy one of these in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you put a strange flap over that subscribe button to give it extra battery life? That's not how it works. Be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.